I don't remember why I walked into that abandoned theater. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it was just simple curiosity, or maybe something else was pulling me in. The building had been closed for years, boarded up and forgotten by the city. But when I pushed on the heavy double doors, they swung open without a sound, unlocked. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of dust and decay. Everything was draped in a ghostly white sheet of neglect. The velvety red seats in the auditorium were torn, their stuffing spilling out like cotton guts. The grand curtains on the stage were rotting, hanging in ragged strips. It was a place where time had stopped. But then, from somewhere deep inside, from the stage itself, I heard voices. They weren't ghostly whispers or faint echoes. They were calm, clear voices speaking in a perfect, practiced rhythm. At first, I figured I was imagining it. Stress, lack of sleep, you know how it is. But the closer I crept toward the stage, down the dusty aisle, the louder the voices became. They were rehearsing, running lines, like actors in a play. I crouched behind a row of seats, listening. The words felt familiar, too familiar. A chill started at the base of my spine and crept its way up. I knew these words. I knew them before they were even spoken, because they were my words. They were my conversations, my arguments, my quiet, secret thoughts that I had never, ever said out loud. My heart was hammering against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the silent theater. I had to see. I had to know who was up there. I moved slowly, using the shadows and the crumbling architecture for cover until I reached the side of the stage. I peeked from behind a broken plaster column. What I saw made the air freeze in my lungs. Under a single, flickering spotlight, a full cast of actors stood in formation, and one of them was me. Not just someone who looked like me. He wore my clothes, the same worn-out jeans, the same faded band t-shirt I had on right then. He had my posture, the way I nervously shift my weight from foot to foot. He mimicked my habit of running a hand through my hair when I'm thinking, and when he spoke with my voice. Another actor, a woman with a kind but stern face, was playing my mother. Another, a man with a booming laugh I recognized instantly, was my best friend, Mark. There was even an actress playing Sarah, the girl I had a crush on in college but never had the courage to ask out. They were all there. Even a stranger I'd had a brief, forgettable argument with at a coffee shop 6 months ago. Scene after scene, they reenacted my life with terrifying, impossible accuracy. The fight I had with my mom last week about my job search word for perfect word. The time I confessed to Mark that I felt like a failure, they captured the exact tremor in my voice. They even played out the small, insignificant moments. The quiet ones. The thoughts I'd had while staring at my ceiling at 3 a.m, thoughts I'd never shared with a single soul. How? How could they know these things? These weren't just memories. They were my private reality, stolen and put on display. My mind was reeling, trying to make sense of the impossible. Was this a dream? A hallucination? I was hidden in complete darkness, shielded by the column. I hadn't made a sound. But my shock got the better of me. I whispered to myself, a tiny, breathless sound, "Who are you?" And in that instant, everything on stage stopped. The actor playing me, my double, slowly turned his head. His eyes locked directly onto my hiding spot. He saw me, even though I was shrouded in shadow. A slow, deliberate smile spread across his face. It was my smile, but it was wrong, cold, knowing. Then he spoke my next thought before I could even form it. His voice, my voice, echoed in the vast, empty hall. "We've been waiting for you." As if on cue, the entire cast turned toward me in perfect, chilling unison. Their faces were blank masks, no blinking. It felt like they weren't even breathing. The single spotlight above them began to dim, plunging the stage into a deeper gloom until only my double was clearly visible. He extended a hand toward me, an invitation. "Come on stage," he said, his voice calm yet impossibly commanding. "It's time for the final act." Panic finally broke through the paralysis. I didn't think. I just ran. I scrambled back up the aisle, stumbling over broken seats, my breath catching in my throat. I burst through the heavy front doors and didn't stop running until the theater was just a dark shape in the distance. The cold night air felt like a slap, but it didn't wake me from the nightmare. As I fled, a new sound reached me from the theater, applause, a long, slow, echoing applause that seemed to follow me down the empty street. It's been days now. But the show isn't over. I still hear them. In the quiet moments, in the dead of night, I can hear the rehearsals continuing in the back of my mind. They're running new lines, blocking out new scenes. But these scenes, they aren't from my past. They're from my future. And I don't know if I'm the audience anymore, or if I'm just waiting for my cue.